Okay, students, let's continue with the lesson. 3 questions. The king wanted to know the answer to 3 questions. What was the most important occupation? Who were the most necessary people? And what was the proper time for everything? Okay. And he got, since his council of ministers could not give the proper answer, he made a proclamation and he invited people from his kingdom to give him the answers. But different responses were there to his first question, and some said that he must draw up a plan in advance and live according to it. Some said were of the opinion that it was impossible to decide beforehand what was the right time for every action, but one should one should attend to whatever was going on. And the third opinion or response was that it was impossible for one man to decide correctly for the right time for every action, and therefore the king should have a council of people. Regarding the most necessary people needed by the king, some were of the opinion that it was counselors, some others said they were priests, and some others were of the opinion that doctors were very important. The most important occupation some felt was related to science, some others felt it was related to warfare, and while the last group was of the opinion that religious worship was very, very important. Okay, the king failed to get an answer to the proper answer to the question, because every answer which was given on everything that was suggested was partially right but was not completely correct, and therefore the king was not convinced about any of the answers. Therefore, he decided, let's continue, children. Therefore, he decided to go to a hermit. Therefore, he decided to go to a hermit. A hermit is a person who lives alone and avoids the company of others, who's a recluse who lives alone. So, who was widely renowned, famous for his wisdom. The hermit lived in a small hut in a forest which he never left. He spoke only to common people in general. So the king put on simple clothes and approached the hermit's cell. The king wanted the answer to his question. Therefore, he left all his grandeur, his royal clothes, his horse, okay, his bodyguard, everyone behind, wore very simple clothes, and decided to visit the hermit. He dismounted, got down from his horse, and left his bodyguard behind. Dismounted, got down. When the king arrived, the hermit was digging the ground in front of his hut. So the hermit lived in the forest, he lived in a small hut. And when the king arrived, what was the hermit doing? He was digging the ground, preparing the ground to sow something, either to plant some saplings or to sow some seeds. He was preparing the ground. He greeted the king. The very fact that the hermit greeted the king shows that the hermit recognized who the king was. That the person who has come to meet him was the king. He understood that. But went on digging. The hermit was frail, thin, and weak, and each time he struck the ground with the spade and turned over a little earth, he breathed heavily. And hermit lived a very simple life. Therefore, most probably he wouldn't have had any nutritious food. Okay, and spend most of his time in meditation. So small little bit of work also, that he was, since he was very frail, thin, and weak. Okay, he breathed very heavily because this particular work or task that he was undertaking was something that was quite strenuous for him. The king went up to him and said, I have come to you, wise hermit, to ask you to answer 3 questions. How can I learn to do the right thing at the right time? Who are the people I most need, and to whom should I therefore pay most attention? And what affairs are the most important and need my first attention? So these were the 3 questions. He repeated the questions, the answers to which he wanted. The hermit listened to the king but said nothing. He just spat, past tense of spit is spat, on his hand and resumed, that is, continued digging. The king watched in silence for a while. Then, feeling sorry for the hermit, he said, You are tired. Let me take the spade and work a while for you. This action of the king shows that he is very humble. Okay, the most important thing that was there in the king's mind was the answers to these questions. Therefore, he decided that he would be patient, and he also decided to help out the king. The very fact that he wore very simple clothes and went to meet the hermit shows that he was very humble. And again, he decided to work for the hermit. The hermit silently handed over the spade and sat down on the ground. When he had dug 2 bits, the king stopped and repeated his questions. The hermit again gave no answer, but rose, stretched out, extended his hand for the spade, and said, "Now rest for a while and let me work a bit." But the king did not give him the spade and continued to dig. 1 hour passed and another. The sun began to sink behind the trees, and the king at last stuck the spade is a tool used for digging into the ground and said, "I came to you, wise one, for an answer to my questions. If you can give me none, please say so, and I will go home." Okay. Now the king must have gone early in the morning, and he was waiting and he helped out the hermit. 1 hour passed, 2 hours passed, the whole day was almost over, and the sun began to sink behind the trees. It was almost time for the sun to set. So it was evening now. And the king repeated the question. He said, "If you can't give me the answers, then you let me know so that I can go home." "Here comes someone running," said the hermit. "Let's see who it is." Now, let us take up some few questions, children. Here you have arrange in sequence. This is a type of question that you can get in the paper that will come up in the first part. That is, uh, even before the passages give printed, you have a set of questions for 2 marks, like complete the following, name the following, web diagram. So arrange in sequence is one such question. What is arranging in sequence? There are a few actions um, or events that are given, but they are all in jumbled form, and you have to rearrange it according to the way it is given in the passage. The king asked the hermit the 3 questions. The king greeted the hermit. The king went alone to meet the hermit, and the king saw the hermit digging the ground. What is the first one? You have to rearrange it and not put the numbers, but you have to rewrite the correct answer. The king went alone to meet the hermit. The king saw the hermit digging the ground. The king greeted the hermit, and the king asked the hermit the 3 questions. So here you have half of mark, 2 mark. This is a 2 mark question, children. Arrange in sequence. The way that it is given in the passage, you have to put it in the correct order. Though the hermit did not say anything to the king for some time, he did not ignore the king or treat him rudely in any way. After all, he was a hermit, a wise man. So therefore, and a king must be treated properly. So he did not speak to the king rudely or he did not ignore the king. Do you agree? What evidence of his politeness can you point out? What shows that that he listened and responded to the king's words? What is the first thing that you know about the hermit? That he's polite. Because when the king arrived, the hermit was digging the ground in front of the hut. But the moment he saw the king, he greeted the king. This shows that he was polite. He listened to the king. The king repeated the question and he listened to the king. The hermit spoke only to the common people, so the king put on simple clothes. Do you think the king hoped to be mistaken for a common man, or was he just showing that he was a humble person? What shows that the hermit knew him to be the king? Okay. Now, the king decided that he would wear simple clothes. Why did he do that? Because, first of all, the king knew that the hermit lived alone. He avoided the company of others. And especially somebody belonged to the royal family, he wouldn't be ready to meet. So, but he wanted the answer to these 3 questions. Therefore, he decided to wear simple clothes. The hermit would not meet anyone who belongs to the royal family. He spoke only to the common man. The king knew about it, but he wanted the answer. So, therefore, he decided not to take a risk, and therefore he gave up his royal clothes, wore very simple clothes, and he walked it down to the place where left the horse and his bodyguards at a distance, and then he went to meet the king. He was eager to get answers to his questions from the wise hermit. Therefore, he wore simple clothes out of humility and respect. Adjective form, children. We have done word building in the vocabulary video. I have told you what are the words that you can add in order to form adjectives. Humility, here it will be humble, and for king, it is kingly or royal. The king turned around and saw a bearded man coming out of the forest. When the king was eager to get his questions and he repeated the question, and the sun was about to set, okay, and the king now became a little slightly impatient, and he asked the hermit, "Are you ready to answer the questions or should I go back home?" The Hermit at that time pointed out that there was a man running towards them. The man held his hands pressed against his stomach, and blood was flowing from under them. When he reached the king, he fainted and fell to the ground, moaning feebly. In a very low voice, he was crying out in pain. The king and the hermit unfastened the man's clothing. Now, the very fact that he had pressed both his hands against his stomach and he was crouching and blood was flowing, knew that he was hurt somewhere. So there was a large wound. He lost consciousness the moment he reached the king. So the king and the hermit, they unfastened, they loosened the man's clothing, and they found that there was a large wound in his stomach. The king washed it as well as he could and bandaged it with his handkerchief and the towel the hermit had. But the blood would not stop flowing, and the king again and again removed the bandage, soaked with warm blood, and washed and rebandaged the wound. Rebandaged again and again, he put the cloth on the wound, pressed out, and removed all the blood, and tried to stop the bleeding. At last, the blood stopped flowing. The man revived. That is, he regained consciousness and asked for something to drink. The king brought some fresh water and gave it to him. The king was a king, but at that particular point of time, he forgot that he did not have that arrogance or pride that he was a king. Why should I do? Let the hermit do the needful. No. He cooperated with the hermit and tried his best in order to revive the man who had fallen down there. Meanwhile, the sun had set and it had become cool. So the king, with the hermit's help, carried the wounded man into the hut. Now the bleeding had stopped, but this man had just regained consciousness, but was not completely all right. And there's plus he had a wound, so therefore both of them carried the man to the into the hut. The man lay quietly with his eyes closed. By now the king was so tired after his walk and the work he had done that he laid down himself and also fell asleep. The king must have not worked so much um at any point of time in his life because he was a king. So today he had walked a little distance and then came to the forest, giving up all his luxuries. And then plus he had for 2 hours almost he was digging the ground, helping the hermit. So he had done a lot of manual labor, and so therefore he was very tired, and therefore he fell asleep. When he awoke in the morning, it took some time to remember where he was and who the strange bearded man lying by his side and gazing intently at him. Okay. So when he got up, it took some time for him to understand where he was. It was not on his in his royal palace nor in his bed, but he was lying somewhere in a hut. And there was a strange man who was sitting next to him. The bearded man had already got up, and he was looking at him very eagerly and attentively at him. "Forgive me," said the bearded man in a weak voice, when he saw that the king was awake and was looking at him. "I don't know you, and I have nothing to forgive you for," said the king. "You don't know me, but I know you. I am that enemy of yours who swore to revenge himself on you because you executed his brother and seized his property. You don't know me, but I know you very well because my brother was killed by you and you took away his property. Okay, so I decided that just because you killed my brother, I decided to take revenge. And I was just waiting for an opportunity. So who's telling all this? The bearded man is telling this. That mere bhai ka tumne, you ordered that my brother should be killed. Okay, and you took away, you forcibly seized, forcibly took away his property. I knew you had gone alone to see the hermit. So I was waiting for a chance to get you unarmed and alone so that I can take my revenge. And when I knew that you would come to meet the hermit, I resolved to kill you on your way back. You didn't have your bodyguards, you were all alone, and I knew about it. And so, therefore, to take revenge for my brother's death, I decided to attack you at that time. But the day passed and you did not return. I was hoping that you would return very soon. So I came out of my ambush, the place where I was hiding. Place of hiding before attack is ambush. To find you. Your bodyguards recognized me and wounded me. I escaped from them and would have bled to death had you not dressed my wound. I wish to kill you, but you have saved my life. I came to kill you, but unfortunately, what happened when I was running into the forest? I came across, I saw you and the hermit, and I fell down there. And today, if I am alive, it is because of your because you have nursed me back to health, and you bandaged my wound, and you tried to save me. Now, if I live, and if you wish it, I will serve you all my life. Love and affection showered on a particular individual can transform an individual very easily. So, the very fact that the bearded man, was full of revenge the previous day, and he had come with the intention of killing the king. But the very fact that the king had not given up and he tried to revive this man, bandaged his wound again and again, okay, given him water, made him comfortable, moved him to the hut, and the very fact that he served him made that particular man realize that I owe my life to you now. So therefore, you have saved my life. And therefore, now if I live and if you wish it, I will serve you all my life. I am ready to serve you, be your servant all through my life. The king was very glad to have made peace with an enemy so easily. Was the king happy? King was very happy that, oh, मैंने ऐसे ही बैठे बैठे एक दोस्त बना दिया और एक enemy मेरा दोस्त हो गया. Okay, to have gained him for a friend. He not only forgave him, but said that he would send his men and his own physician to attend him. So look at the king. As the story proceeds, we get a character sketch of the king. We can draw a character sketch of the king. The king was very humble. The king knew how to serve people. Okay, he kept aside his pride, his arrogance, and he served this particular man. The king was a person who forgave people. He understood the importance of love and affection, and therefore he was ready to forgive his enemy very easily. And also, so he was very caring, and therefore he decided that he would send his own royal physician, doctor, to attend to this particular bearded man. Why had the wounded man asked for the king's pardon? The wounded man was actually an enemy of the king and who had sworn to take revenge on the king as the king had executed his brother and seized his property. Wounded man कौन था? King का enemy था. और वो king का enemy क्यों बना? Because the wounded man's brother was executed. That is, the king had ordered the wounded man's brother to be killed and had taken away forcibly his property. So he was filled with, उसके मन में इतना revenge और इतना hatred था king के लिए, that he decided मौका देखते ही मैं इस राजा से बदला लूंगा. The wounded man was aware that the king had gone alone to see the hermit and he resolved to kill him on his way back. But when the day passed and the king did not return, what happened? He was expecting that the king would get the answers, the king would finish the work with the hermit, and he would come back alone. So he was waiting. Because why he had to wait? Because the hermit had not answered the king and the king did not return. And when the day ended, he decided to come out of his hiding to find the king. And the king's bodyguard recognized him and wounded him. And therefore he escaped from them, but would have bled to death had the king not dressed up his wound. He wished to kill the king, but the king's love and affection and the very fact that the king had served him, okay, and had helped him, and that had made him saved his life. He had saved his life. That made him change his mind. Okay, let's go ahead. The king then took leave of him and went out of the hut to look for the hermit. Now it was the next day, so the king wanted to go back to the palace. Before going away, he wished once more to beg for an answer to the questions he had asked. The hermit was outside on his knees, sowing seeds in the beds he had dug the day before. So now the flower beds were ready, the ground was ready, and now he was sowing the seeds. Okay. The king approached him and said, "For the last time, I pray to you to answer my questions, wise man." "You have already been answered," said the hermit, still bending on his thin legs and looking up at the king who stood before him. "What do you mean?" asked the king. "When did I get my answers? When did you answer my questions?" The hermit said, "You have already been answered. I've answered all your questions. You've already got the answers to your questions." "What do you mean?" asked the king. "Don't you see?" replied the hermit. "If you had not pitied my weakness yesterday and stayed to dig these beds for me, you would have gone back and killed by that man. If you had not been patient, if you had not waited, okay, what would have happened? You would have left asking when you realized that you didn't get the answer to the questions, you would have started off from here. And if you had gone into the forest alone, You would have been found by that particular man who was hiding, and he would have killed you. So, the most important time was when you were digging the beds. And I was the most important man, and to do me good was the most important business. All the three questions are answered. What was the most important time? The most important time was when he was safe. The king was safe and was helping the hermit to dig the beds. Who was the most important person? The hermit was the most important person at that moment because his weakness made the king stay back to help him out. And why did the king stay back? Because he felt that the hermit was very weak, and to do him some good, to help him out, was the most important business at that time. Work at that time. Business here, work at that time. Afterwards, the most important time was when you were attending to that man. Okay, that moment passed. After that, what was the most important thing that you did? When you came out, you asked me the questions. We saw the man coming, running towards us. So, what was the most important time? When you saw, when you attended to that particular man, when you started caring and nursing the wounds of that particular man, that was the most important time. For if you had not bound his wounds, he would have died without having made peace with you. So he was the most important person at that time, and what you did for him was the most important business. Remember then, there is only one time that is important now. The present moment. Now means the present moment. अभी का जो वक्त है, ये जो क्षण है, that is the most important time. It is the most important time because it is the only time we have when we have any power. Past, we cannot do anything. It's already over. Whatever mistakes we have committed, we cannot sometimes rectify it or correct it. Okay, sometimes there are no opportunities available. So past is over, it is gone, nothing can be done. Future is uncertain, which is the most important time. That only time when we have it in our power to do whatever we want. Okay, the right thing, the right moment is the present time. So that's why it's called as a present. It's a gift given to us so that we can use it the way we want. Present. The most necessary person is the one with whom you are at that particular present moment. If you are with someone and that person becomes the most important person because you're dealing with that person. And for you do not know whether you will have dealings with anyone else. And the most important thing is to do this person good. The person with whom you are associated at that particular time, at that present moment, doing good to that particular person is the only business at that particular moment. Because for that purpose alone were you sent into this life. Every individual has been sent into this world in order to do good things. Okay, and to do good for others becomes the most important goal. So who to whom to do good and when to do good, that particular moment is the most important moment. Any person who is there in front of you at that particular time, who is associated with you at that particular point of time, becomes the most important person. He may be anyone. He may be that particular person, may be your parents, it may be your teachers, it may be your friends, it may be the place, may be any place. It may be a school ground, it may be the tuition class, it may be a classroom. Okay, for a soldier, it may be the battlefield. So, the person with whom you are, the present, the most important moment is the present moment. The most important time is the present moment. The most important person is the person who is there in right in front of you at that, or group of people who are there in front of you at that particular time, with whom you are dealing with. And to do good for that particular person or a group of people whom you are associated with at that moment is the most important thing to be done. Okay, so we come to the end of the story. Story has a moral, and this is something which has a universal message, children. And the three questions and the answers to these three questions have a universal appeal. Time, society, place, okay, age, doesn't matter. And these answers to these three questions is applicable to everybody, everywhere. That's why Leo Tolstoy's this particular story is something which has got a very deep message. Okay, the right moment is the present moment. The most important person is the person with whom you are dealing with at that particular time period. And what is the most important thing to be done? The most important thing to be done is to do good to that particular person who's associated with you at that particular moment of time. Who said to whom? Since it's a story and there are a lot of conversations, you have who said to whom questions. So you have to read this lesson well. If you would not pity my weak, if you had not pitied my weakness yesterday and stayed to dig these beds for me, you would have gone back and been killed by that man. Who said this? The hermit to the king. For the last time, I pray to you to answer my questions, wise man. The king asked the hermit. How did the hermit finally point out the answers to the king's questions? The hermit pointed out that the most important time was the present moment because it's the only time when we have any power, which is available to us. Okay? When we have any power to do whatever we feel is right. The most necessary person is the one with whom you are at that time, for you do not know whether you will have ever dealings with anyone else. And the most important thing to do is to do good to others because for that purpose alone we have been given this life. This is what he points out. Read the story and answer whether the following statements are true or false. Again, you have these are textbook activities. The people convinced the king to make a proclamation. Did the people convince him? No, the king was not convinced and therefore he decided to make a announcement. So it's false. The hermit usually spoke to everyone. False. The hermit usually spoke only to common men. The king received all answers from the hermit. True. The person the king saved and helped was his enemy. True. To do good to people is the purpose of our life. True. Okay. So the king indirectly had received all the answers from the hermit, but he did not realize what had happened. So finally, the hermit had to point out to the king that these are the answers to your questions. The character traits of the king and the hermit are mixed up. Again, this is an activity number 3 in your textbook. Sort them out and put them in the right box. So, how was the king? The character sketch of the king, when you draw out a character traits, trait means qualities, children. How was the king? The king was impatient, he was eager to succeed. He was not a person who would give up very easily. That is why he stayed back for one day in order to get answers to the question. He was not he was impatient, no doubt about it. But then he also was patient, he was eager to succeed. That's why he stayed back there and remained with the hermit. He was very helpful. Two occasions, we know that the king was very helpful. First one, when he saw the hermit working all alone and the hermit finding it difficult to dig the beds, at that time he decided to give a helping hand. Secondly, when the stranger came and he was in a pitiable condition, he was wounded. The king should have he would have thought that, oh, I'm the king, why should I help out? Let the hermit do whatever is possible. He didn't do that. He helped the hermit to take the wounded man into the hut, bandaged his wounds, okay, and rebandaged it again, and gave some water to that particular man when he asked for something to drink. So this shows that he was very helpful. He was forgiving. Very easily he forgave the that enemy. He could have called his guards and punished this particular person for attempt to murder. Okay, but he didn't do that. So he was very forgiving. He was kind. So these are the qualities of the king that we come to know as we read the story. How was the hermit? Hermits were thin, feeble, weak. However, he was enlightened. Okay? He was truly a very wise man. Yes, he knew, very experienced, and he knew the answers to the questions. He was very wise. He was very patient and he was very convincing. Whatever he said convinced the king, and therefore the king was satisfied that he got answers to these questions. Did the king behave as an ordinary person rather than as a ruler at the hermit's hut? What shows it? Definitely. We know that he behaved as an ordinary person. Did he also act as a good and a kind person? When did he do so? As we read the story, we get an answer to these questions. What is the first thing? As an ordinary person, what did the king do? He wore clothes of a commoner. He abandoned, that is, he left his horse and bodyguards at a certain distance, went walking to the hermit's hut. Um, he did not mind helping the hermit to dig the flower beds. The king did not say, Are main to Raja hoon. Why should I do the work? Let the hermit do the thing, do his work. That's not my job. But he did not do that. He decided to help the hermit. He waited patiently to get the answers from the hermit. Yes, the king was good and kind as he dressed the wounds of the wounded man and took care of him and revived him. He forgave the bearded man, that shows his kindness again, who had the intention of murdering him, and he also promised to send his men and physician to attend to him. So the king did not stop at that. Now that the bearded man had become his friend, he was concerned about him, and therefore he decided that he would send his soldiers and ask the royal physician to attend to him so that he would quickly recover. What qualities of the king stand out as he forgave his enemy? What does what qualities of the king do we come to know? It reveals the incident reveals that he was a kind and a loving person. He was an humble and a peace loving person. Write down 2 points in the notebook for each of the following. How do you know? The learned advisors who came to the court confused the king. How did they confuse the king? Each one of them, the answers were varied. Okay, there were different answers given. Every answer was partially right, but it was not convincing and it did not reveal the entire truth. And that is why the learned advisors who came to the court confused the king. Some said that warriors are important, some others said doctors are important, some others said priests are important, someone else answered that the king should make a timetable, some others suggested that the king should have a council of ministers to advise him. So, therefore, the learned advisors gave correct answers, but none of them was completely correct. Okay, so that led to confusion. The king was humble, already discussed. He wore the clothes of a commoner. He helped the hermit in his work. Then he bandaged the wounds of the person who was wounded. Okay, the bearded man who was wounded. Okay, so and the king did not see. The king could have used his authority and he could have asked the hermit to give him the answers. But the king was humble and he respected the hermit, and that is why he decided to wait patiently to get his answers. The king's enemy was repentant. The king's enemy was filled with the idea of revenge the previous day. That is why he was waiting. Um, he hid himself and he decided to attack the king when he would get an opportunity. But what happened? He was repentant. The moment he was wounded and uh, he was wounded and he lost consciousness. When he regained consciousness, that is when he realized that he was still alive because of the service that was rendered to the king at that time, bandaging the wounds and taking care of that particular wounded man. Okay, so that's why he was repentant immediately. What is the word that he spoke? I am sorry for what I did. He confessed that he had come to murder the king. Okay, but he also said that he would like to, his life was um, a gift given by that is, he was alive because of the king, and therefore he was ready to serve the king for lifetime. This shows that he was repentant. The hermit was truly wise because when the king demanded the answer to his questions, he said, "You have already been answered." And then he points out what were the answers to his three questions. Activity number 6, you have choose the correct answer and fill in the blanks. Varied means different. Okay, there are four. This is again a vocabulary question. You have to put a capital B here and circle it so that you can learn these um, word meanings. Many learned people came to the court and gave different answers. Not the same answers, not wrong answers. They were not wrong answers, but they were different answers which were all partially correct, but not completely correct. Synonym, word having the same meaning. The synonym of convinced is persuaded. The king wanted to know the time to begin everything. The king wanted to know the right time to begin everything. I pray you to answer my question. Here the word pray means request. I pray to you. Prayer has got one meaning. Here the meaning is request. I request you to answer my question. Choose an adverb that collocates with breathed. Breathed heavily. Collocations are words which are used together. Breathed heavily. So, children, we come to the end of this particular part. We have completed the story and also the activities and questions which are given at the end of the chapter. I hope all of you read this particular lesson well. You will soon have Google test for English. I will let you know the date and the time for the English test. The lesson will be this particular chapter, 3 questions. I'll also be sharing some videos related to writing skills with you. Go through these videos and do the activities which are given so that you will get practice. I hope you have already gone through the videos where I have discussed about drafting a speech and expansion of idea and letter writing. All these writing skills carry 5 marks, and writing skills, the total number of marks are more. So, preparation, special preparation is required for writing skills. If you read the chapters and understand the lessons, that is only for a part of your particular, for a part of the paper. But marks, children generally tend to lose marks in writing skills, so more preparation is required for writing skills. Thank you, children. Have a nice day.